My three Sarahs. Now, I've been a huge fan of the Terminator series ever since it came out. And story writing, like, it's not the best series. Like, when we really think about it, it has a lot of holes and a lot of breakdowns in the series when you talk about the technology part. But when you talk about the character arc and the character development, particularly of Sarah Connor, there's a lot of meat there. And we've had three different really powerful actresses play the role of Sarah Connor. And I wanted to kind of break down how each of them was different and how they portray this very powerful character. Now, obviously, we start off with Linda Hamilton, who set it off in the first Terminator film, came back with Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Then she was in Dark Fate in 2019. She's the originator. This is the blueprint. She gives Sarah really what her soul is, and everything is a variant off of her. She starts off with this 1984 Sarah who's fragile, but she's very relatable. She's a young woman who gets caught up in this machinery fate by no machinations of her own. And Hamilton gives it this real vulnerability that we could all relate to. And this kind of we see the seeds of resilience growing in her before the film is over. Now, by 1981, this Sarah is an iconic Sarah, the Terminator Judgment Day. She embodies this feral motherhood relationship with her son, and she transforms Sarah into this warrior. No glam, no Hollywood softness. Everything about her body, her muscles, her wiry strength, her distant eyes screams this post-traumatic depression, this stress, and purpose. Now, in 2019, she plays this, kind of worn-out prophet. She's brought her back in more almost like this ghost, like stuck in a loop where she's stuck doing this. She's very angry, obviously. She's very sarcastic. Remember, she's lost John, like in this variation of the story, and she's haunted. And there's this quiet sorrow that's beneath her bravado. She's both a myth and a warning, like even for the fighting of what it does to the warriors. And she has this physical transformation between 1984 and 1991. She didn't just act the change. She looked every bit. Her arms were this emotional rage that was all it. So this is pure, powerful acting ability. Now we go to Lena Headey, and I'll be right off the bat saying, like, this is my Sarah, right? This is, out of all of them, this is, to me, the Sarah that I embrace the most. And this is from the television series, The Sarah Connor Chronicles, which runs from 2008 to 2009, one of the shortest track records for great shows like this. And she is a different Sarah, right? This is after a lot of this stuff has happened. She knows a little bit about the future. She's been in the battle for a while, and she's a thinker. This is where the strategist Sarah really shines. She is the very hardcore heart of this human rebellion. And what Lena does is she brings this emotional complexity and this very intense cerebral look at the world. She's not as physically imposing as Linda was. She plays Sarah more as a tactician. She's always very calculating. She's always protecting. And this Sarah is kind of in slow burn. She's trying to keep John safe while holding on to what's left of herself. And this is a very melancholy performance. Now, she's still kind of represented, I think, as this very beautiful woman, or how people respond to her. And I think Lena Headey really pulls that off. But she has a more realist view. Like, there is this never-ending nightmare. And how the story is written, Lena Headey's style, her voice, her delivery, this kind of low, deliberate, it's very pained, and it gives Sarah this more poetic, like dark worldview, that she plays this philosopher mother who questions herself. We see her ability in other works, but I think the way that the writing coincided with how she played it takes Sarah into this different world. If you listen to her soliloquies at the beginning or at the end, what she talks about being a mother, she talks about the battle and what these things mean and how will John relate, and even analyzing their relationship like live stream. Then there's, of course, Emilia Clarke, who plays in the Terminator Genesis 2015. And she's the reboot Sarah. She's the young gun. She is the divergent, right? So she gets a lot more latitude with her Sarah because this is a different Sarah. She's more of a modern action hero energy. She's got less trauma and far more training, which kind of weighs it out for her. She's been doing this from birth. And she's very confident. She's very rebellious. She's very emotionally guarded without like the dark part of Hamilton or Headey. So this Sarah grows up knowing her destiny. She's shaped more by preparation for it than the actual shock and grief, because she never endured it. And she's got this youthful resistance. She doesn't want to be told who she is. And that's a part of it that she really struggles with a lot. That she sees Kyle Reese and she's like, am I supposed to fall in love with you and have your, like, it's a weird thing where she kind of challenges what the story is, because she's thrown into this variant that none of them were ready for. Even Kyle, when he comes back, obviously doesn't anticipate this is what it is. So her challenges are really immense. Like stepping into this legendary role, it's a heavy boot to wear at playing in this time meddler. So she plays Sarah as she's kind of searching for this autonomy, a narrative that's written about her. That's kind of key to the story. This story is about her, not by her, and that's kind of what she's, sold us. Now, she took some criticism for this, but I felt this was a very strong portrayal for her. I think this was a great representation of her, with her being her, not having that psychological weight that impends on the two previous versions of this character. But still a deep character, and although I think the series overall had some, it's got some potholes. There's some things you can't even excuse, but it's a great series to watch if you like action. And this character gives us a little bit to look at in terms of how this character arcs and how this character varies between the different actresses. If you have more to add to it, please drop it in the comment section.